Hey everyone, I'm your host Olivia, and on this podcast we dive deep into the world of health, fitness and business. So whether you're a gym owner, a personal trainer or a marketing manager, we've got you covered. So make sure you click subscribe and never miss an episode again.
Is it a hit with the members? I wouldn't say they're jumping for joy.
We want brand awareness to grow for this niche, if you will, of boutique fitness.
You're getting the group personal training aspect.
Where we work, live and operate, there aren't that many options.
You've also got the science behind it.
When they see it, they try it, they love it.
And when they came, were you like, oh, here's the competition?
There was a lady called Ellen. She pioneered this thing, she took it to a massive company, a global success. You realize what are the key things that you need, right? How do you scale this? Some people were just getting creative, like it might be
Tins of beans.
Yeah, tins of beans.
Yeah, using their babies.
Yeah. Minimum wage going up, your rates going up, electric, water, business rates.
Can't do that.
From a business perspective, we have to do it.
In America, it's so big, and why it's a struggle in the UK.
If you don't do it and you are leading a team or whatnot, you're definitely going to burn out.
She's phenomenal, just remembers everybody's name.
Yeah, I don't know half my colleagues.
Really, really challenging, obviously 3-4 months into business and it's like, that's it, it's all shut down.
Today on this episode, we are talking all about Orangetheory Fitness. We explore the success of their fitness model and the competition and challenges arising in the fitness boutique space. Joining me are two wonderful guests, Craig, the Regional Sales and Operational Manager of the Midlands and Northern Orangetheory Fitness, and Dan, the Regional Fitness Manager of Midlands and Northern Orangetheory Fitness as well. So welcome, guys. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us, yeah.
And where did you travel from again today?
Derby.
Derby. Mm-hmm. See, commitment at its finest. That's what we like to see. So Orangetheory has rapidly expanded since its founding in 2010, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many are in the UK now?
So we are in the Midlands and we've got 3 studios.
3.
Derby,
Nice.
Leamington Spa and Altrincham, just outside of Manchester.
Perfect. And it now boasts over 1,500 studios across more than 25 countries. Hopefully this is all correct information.
That's correct.
And I guess with that in mind, especially given the growing popularity of your fitness model, what do you think has been the magic behind Orangetheory's success? And now it's so competitive, how do you keep that magic going as such?
I think one of the things is the workout itself. Mm-hmm. So the workout's probably what you'd describe as personalised. So personalised group personal training, but in obviously a group setting. So you're getting the group personal training aspect, but you've also got the science behind it. So very results driven, mm-hmm. very much personalised by using technology such as the heart rate monitors. So that's one way that obviously I think it's seen some success.
Yeah.
And then the community side as well. Mm-hmm. So making sure, people feel a part of the community, building friendship groups and growing it from that way, really.
And all the sort of boutique fitness spaces that are also utilising technology and obviously heart rate monitors and stuff, have you found that's been a bit more challenging now that they've now come about and they're sort of not copying you as such, but it's just becoming more of a known thing in the industry?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if people are copying it, it's for a good reason, right? People know that it's working, that people are working harder. They enjoy the stats, they enjoy sharing things. But we want brand awareness to grow for this niche, if you will, of boutique fitness. We think, at least where we work, live and operate, there aren't that many options. I know globally, perhaps in large cities, it may be more of a thing, but we're really trying to build that here. And we think that people are just when they see it, they try it, they love it.
And they're hooked.
Yeah.
And in terms of the fitness model, so has it changed much since 2010 or has it literally just stayed the same and it's just worked ever since? Because I feel like a lot of people probably start with the fitness model and think, oh, let's tweak it every now and again just to keep people excited and it's all shiny and new. Mm-hmm. But has it stayed the same the whole time you've been there?
Well, we've been in there for 5 years, but I know from when it started, there was a lady called Ellen back in the States. I think it was just called Ellen's workout to begin with.
Oh, okay.
She pioneered this thing. She took it to a massive company, a global success, and it definitely evolved along the way, as it expanded, and you realize what are the key things that you need, right? How do you scale this? How do you tailor to everybody's needs? I've got elderly people, I've got people who haven't done anything for 10 years, I've got people who are really competitive and want to be pushed hard. So the technology has helped that, the team that designed the workouts, the equipment we use, different challenges, it's definitely been evolving over time.
Yeah.
And yeah, people, they've been thinking outside the box, but staying within that same brand.
Yeah. And then, because it's founded in 2010, actual Orangetheory, so before, obviously, Ellen Fitness, which is interesting to know. So remind me of the workout. Is it sort of rowers, functional, is it as well, and treadmills? Is that the same?
Pretty much, yeah. So there's three main areas, which would be like the treadmills, where we focus mainly on our conditioning work, cardiovascular training, and the heart rate allows us to work through different zones. The rower, which is also great at working our cardiovascular fitness. You also get a lot of the muscles in your body working, over 80% of them. You can work strength and power. And then the weight floor, which is mainly weights, benches, TRX straps, and a few other bits. But obviously great for helping us build and maintain muscle strength, and all those benefits of resistance training.
And in the areas that you are covering at the moment, so have you got like Barry's boot camp and stuff around you as well, or is that not quite there yet?
No, they're not in the Leamington area or the Derby area. Altrincham, which is south of Manchester, Greater Manchester, there is a Barry's up there, I believe.
Okay. And when they came, were you like, oh, here's the competition? Because that's quite a similar fitness model, isn't it? But I think if you're so passionate and sure about your fitness model and your community, you just know that if people are coming through the door, they'll stick with you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. Like sometimes people will ask you like, oh, is it like this or is it like that? And it's kind of like a yes or no thing, because there will be similarities, but I don't know everything about Barry's bootcamp, and I know that a lot of people will love it, but it's called bootcamp, for example.
Yeah.
That's not something
not going to be for everyone.
Yeah, that's not what we tell the people. We're not drill sergeants. Like I said, we've got people from all walks of life, and
that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Well, yeah, you'd probably say the target audience is a little bit different.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, a lot younger, and boot camp is very intimidating word, I think, for elderly people. And I guess with the technology side of things, have you seen innovation over the years as well? Has there been a lot of new technology come about that you guys now use that you didn't use before?
I think we're always updating things. So when I first started, we just, for example, with the heart rate monitors, we had one which was just on the chest, which we called a core. We also had one on your arm, but we've moved more towards the one on the arm.
Okay.
Which obviously...
Yeah, they're meant to be more accurate, aren't they, on the arm? Is that right?
I wouldn't say they're more accurate, but they provide different features. So for example, on your arm, it would track your footsteps. So when you've been on the treadmill, it'll tell you how many steps that you did. Like the straps are more breathable. For convenience wise, it's probably easier to put it on the arm rather than around the chest. You also find things like it's got a charger, where these ones were battery powered. They're still obviously battery powered, but this one you can charge it, where the other one you'd have to replace the battery.
Yeah.
So we've got more to using that stuff now. The apps are always updating as well. So with the technology on that, the features that we put on it, that's always updating, and we're trying to constantly improve that as well.
And do the members love the side of technology, like the data-driven stuff now? I feel like they're becoming a lot more educated in this space. So I think if they're not going to the class and getting the data, they're annoyed. So are they utilising it quite well? And is it enhancing their workout?
I would definitely say so. Like you said, a lot of people love it, right? Whether it's, a lot of people's watches nowadays will tell them their steps and their calories and how much they're sleeping, and they're tracking their intake of food and all of that. So people want the stats. They love to share them on social media. You got people who are competitive with others, competitive with themselves. And it's now integrated to what they see on the treadmill as well. So when on the treadmill, they can see where their heart rate is. When on the rower, same thing. And now there's been updates on the app, so you can look and see, okay, when I did this speed, this is what my heart did. When I was rowing at this power, this is what.
Yeah, so you can challenge yourself in a way as well. Next time, exactly, you'll be like, oh, I did this last time, let's improve it now and push further, which is nice.
And then when you're coaching, it just really helps you coach to the individual in the group, right? Because you could have somebody who's walking, somebody who's jogging, somebody who's sprinting, but we know that they're all working at the right level for them relative to where they're currently at in their fitness.
Yeah.
So it's just a great way of scaling that personal training feel to
to everyone
people.
as well. Yeah, definitely. And I hate to dive into the world of 2020. I hate saying the names. I'm not going to say it, but everyone knows what it is. But the fitness world obviously drastically changed, as did obviously the other industries as well.
Yeah.
So how did you handle it at Orangetheory? And I guess like what were the biggest challenges through at that time? And I think you guys joined the year before it, so it must have been quite a big change for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really challenging. So we'd started, myself and Dan, in the Derby branch by October 2019, and we'd officially opened in December. So we did all our pre-sales through the October and November.
Yeah.
Went into December and then officially opened. I believe it was March, was it? March 2020, when obviously, we went into lockdown. So yeah, really, really challenging, obviously 3-4 months into business and it's like, okay, that's it, it's all shut down. So yeah, we had to adapt, like a lot of people did. Virtual things were obviously a way forward for us. So we started to do virtual workout at home. So like Dan and the other coaches would have set times when they'd come on and do a virtual workout with the members. So they'd be able to log into Zoom. A lot of people probably didn't even know what Zoom was until that point.
They had a great time Zoom. The only people that did.
So yeah, we'd log into like Zoom and have virtual workouts. We'd also do fun things as well, like try and keep the community together. So on a Friday, we'd have like virtual quiz nights.
Oh, nice.
So all of our members, well, the ones that wanted to, would log on and would have like quiz nights. We did things that we could do outdoor. So we have something in our studio where we call Marathon Month, where we try and rack up as many miles as we can, depending on the distance you wanted to do. So whether you thought you could do a half marathon, full marathon or an ultra marathon, throughout that month you challenge yourself to rack that amount of distance up on the treadmill. Obviously with us not being in the studio, we adapted that by using Strava. So everybody would obviously give their data on there and their times and what they'd done. And then we would encourage them to get out and do runs at home and stuff outside. So yeah, we kept it going that way. But yeah, it was challenging, obviously, coming back, starting, then it'd be like, okay, you can come back, and then again, you can't. But I think members felt safe in our studio because a lot of it is all of our workouts are at a single station. So you would have your own treadmill, own rower, and own weight floor, your own bit on the weight floor. So using that, we weren't sharing equipment, which I think made a lot of people feel safer as well.
Yeah, no, that's good. So when you were doing it, like at home workouts and stuff, were they just doing it like body weight? Because I guess people wouldn't have all the equipment.
It was one time. It would be, so we'd like log in and we'd ask people to get there maybe like 5 minutes earlier and be like, hey, this is what we got today. It's going to be full body. You're going to need a couple moderately heavy things, a couple light things, and one very heavy thing. And some people will be more prepared. They might have dumbbells, kettlebells, or medicine balls.
Until it all sold out.
Yeah. Hey, but, some people got resistance bands. Some people were just getting creative, it might be
tins of beans.
Yeah, tins of beans.
Using their babies.
Backpack. But it was a good vibe. People were working hard, and of course you can do a lot of body weight as well.
Yeah.
But we did try to add in those extra things because,
I guess for you guys as well, because it was quite a fresh new studio that had just opened, you didn't really have the full community yet, did you? Because they've only just fresh to it, right? So was that quite hard to like get them to actually join in the first place and get committed, or were they just quite happy to trust you and come
I think
along
the
with
members we had at the time were quite trusting of us.
Yeah.
And I think if anything, it actually brought us together more. I think the staff it brought together more. I think the members it brought together more. So when we did come back into the studio, it was, we'd been in touch with each other throughout the time.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think it helped make the community stronger.
Okay, that's good. And in terms of community, obviously it's a hugely important part of the boutique fitness space. What's been like your go-to strategy for making sure people stick around and stay motivated long term as well?
So in terms of people sticking around and staying motivated, I think there's like two big pillars to that, which is A, the results you're getting, and B, how it's making you feel. Ideally you want both, right? You're going to get great results and you're going to love the process, enjoy the process along the way and have fun. Some people may value one thing more than the other. There'll be people who aren't really as bothered about the community. They just want to come in, focus on their goals, you know, get faster, get fitter, get stronger.
I want to be on my own. Don't talk to me. That's me.
And there are people like that, right? That's cool. That's you. And then there'll be other people who are, you know what, I just want to come, move, get my heart rate up a little bit, sweat, but I'm around all my people here.
Yeah.
I can switch off and not think about work or whatever they've got going on at home. And they're valuing that just as much, if not more, than, okay, I burnt 500 calories, not 600 or whatever. You know, those things are minor in the grand scheme of things. Now they're enjoying exercise for the first time. They found something they can stick to. They want to see you again on Monday or Friday, whatever day is they normally come, and they want to keep that going. So those are like the two big pillars. And then, how do we do that? Well, it's delivering a good product, you know, coaching, pushing the people who need to be pushed a little bit, or just, you know, helping people get to grips with training. And then for the experience, it's just making it fun, knowing things about everybody, you know, knowing everybody's name is really powerful. Knowing, you know, who should we kind of pair up with a little bit, you know, okay, these people are, they're kind of competitive, maybe they'd be suited next to each other. These people, they here for a chat, maybe they're suited next to each other.
Yeah.
We put on fun days where it might be like a theme day. Today, it's all 80s music.
Nice.
Feel free to dress up 80s style. You know, and there'll be other days today we got a 1 mile challenge. Let's see, you know, how fast we can run a mile. So it's tailoring and cater to different people.
Yeah, I was going to say about the challenges, because you were mentioning the marathon month. I guess do you like have different challenges each month, or like every now and again, just to keep them excited, I guess.
Yeah, so we have a series of different ones that it kind of come around. Probably we'll probably do anywhere between 2 to 4 a month, and then we'll probably repeat those in 3 or 4 months' time.
Yeah.
So they get recorded on people's apps, and they can see, oh, you know what, last time this came around, this is how far I got, or this is how long it took me. I've been training well for the last 8, 12, 16 weeks. Let me see if I can beat it.
Yeah.
And again, it helps you compete against yourself. We like to do them every month and then repeat them throughout the year so that you can see your progress.
No, that's great. So obviously you guys are managing multiple studios, meaning that you're juggling lots of different teams and personalities, whether that's with your staff or just the members. What's your like approach to building strong culture across the different locations?
Yeah, I think with that one, you know, I think the key word is team.
Yeah.
And, you know, any team, whether it's, you know, business, sports, I think, you know, everybody has a skill set or something that they can bring to the table. And, you know, playing people in the right positions, I think, is super important. So, you know, making sure that, you know, I understand you as an individual, or if I don't understand, you know, if it's not me personally, that your line manager understands you as an individual, knows what your strengths, your weaknesses are, and combining that so that as a team, everybody's in the right position, playing the right part.
Yeah.
I think that's what brings a team together. I think as well, making sure that everybody feels valued, you know, everybody wants to feel like they are valued in a team and that they bring something to it. So encouraging that and making sure that, you know, everybody feels valued and that we know what your strengths and weaknesses are and that we're playing in the right position. I think that's kind of a winning formula.
Yeah, such a tricky role to have, to be able to put that team together, I think, because it's just so responsible for everything of how it runs day to day, how everyone gets on. And it affects the staff, obviously, if they're not gelling, it affects the members as well, and just the whole general studio. So it's a hugely important part of your role.
I think with one of the things as well is we've got such a small team.
Yeah.
You know, we only have maybe 5 to 8 people maybe in a studio sometimes.
Yeah.
So bringing on the right people is super important as well, making sure that, you know, everybody feels like they're a family together.
Yeah.
That everybody gels. So because it's so small, you get that family feeling, but at the same time, you've got to make sure that everybody fits in right and, you know, gets on with each other for it to work.
Yeah, they'll stick out like a sore thumb if they don't gel.
Yeah.
So there's pros and cons, isn't there, with small teams?
That.
And the industry is obviously constantly evolving. How do you decide what sort of trends or innovations to adapt in your region versus like what's just a passing fad? I feel like a lot of people are jumping on every little bandwagon, but yeah, what's your take on that?
I think one of the things for us is making sure that we kind of stay in our lane.
Yeah.
So not really venture, you know, what we do is what we do. The workouts, you know, we don't try to change them too much. Obviously, there are changes within them, but, you know, we kind of make sure that it's streamlined to what Orangetheory is. Again, with like the technology and whatnot. So sticking to what we do. So obviously thinking outside of the box, but staying within the brand. So just because somebody else has opened something similar down the road, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to look at that and try and incorporate it into what we do.
Yeah.
It's more sticking to what we do and making sure that we do that the best.
Yeah.
To make sure that, you know, it keeps people coming back and enjoying it.
Yeah, I was going to say, because people are investing in what you've created now. So if you change it, they're going to be like, people don't like change. So
It's
just
true,
keep
yeah.
what you're doing. If it's working, it's working. And I think people do see like new, exciting, shiny objects appearing and like new things happening. And they just want to do everything and anything. But actually it just completely
And I
ruins
think you're always
it.
going to get that, you know, somebody sees something and they're going to think, oh, I'm going to try that or whatnot.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not what we do. It's not who we are. So we
Yeah.
stick to what we do, and hopefully, you know, that keeps people coming back to what, you know, what it is that we do well.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm going to ask this question to you individually. But tell me about a time that you made a big, bold business decision. And was it, I guess, like a hit, or did it teach you some valuable lessons, perhaps? Was it a bad idea?
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that we've had to do a couple of times is price increases.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, you know, they never obviously are a hit with people. You know, obviously anything goes up, your bills or whatever, you know, you're never jumping for joy about it.
We love a freebie.
But I feel with the, you know, the economy that we're in at the minute, you know, with inflation and everything, it's something that we had to do. You know, obviously with the NI going up, minimum wage going up, your rates going up, electric, water, business rates. You know, you can't just keep your price as much as you'd love to.
Yeah.
You can't just keep your prices where they are. You sometimes have to increase them, and we try and make the increases minimal. But, you know, to sustain it and obviously make sure we're operational from a business perspective, we have to do it.
Yeah.
Is it a hit with the members? I wouldn't say they're jumping for joy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel the members do understand. Again, you know, we've created something in the community with our members where they understand the product that we've got and they love it. So, yeah, they're not overly overjoyed about it, but I think most of them understand it. They can see the, you know, the economy that we're in, how inflation's taken on, and you know they have accepted it. And you know, we always try to give back. You know, if we do something like that, like the last time we did it, we try and get, you know, more weights, different kind of rowers and stuff like that. So it's never just okay. We
putting
take
it up.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll always do events and stuff as well, like Christmas parties. We'll put on like award shows and stuff. So
you give back as well. And
sure.
Remind me, is it a class package or is it memberships as well, or how does it work?
So it's predominantly memberships.
Yeah.
Like, so you'd sign up for X amount of classes a month or an unlimited amount.
Oh, okay. Fine.
And, you know, just come in, say, you know, I'm planning on coming a couple times a week. Okay, well, you'd be best
Yeah.
getting 8 a month, or I want to come 3-4. Well, you might be better off going unlimited and
Fine.
coming in
Yeah.
as much as you can.
So we can tailor to what they're able to do, which is good.
Yeah.
And how about yourself, Dan? Big bold business decision?
Mine's probably not. I'm just thinking that's probably definitely the biggest, you know, the heaviest one that weighs on our members, you know.
Yeah.
For myself, it'd probably just be something a lot more minor, like some tweaks we've done with our timetable. We did add a new class. For the longest time, Orangetheory was based around one core product called Orange 60, which is kind of a 60-minute workout with a little bit of everything. And then we've had a couple more classes come around, one called Strength 50, which is 50 minutes, focus a bit more on strength.
Yeah.
And eventually Tread 50 minutes, focus more on a treadmill. And so it was just, okay, how do we implement this now? Because we've got people who've been used to come in, let's say on a Saturday morning at this time, and this is the class they get. But now we've got this offering, and it's new, it's different. In the long term, it's probably going to be better to have more variety. But it's like, how do you move things around to, you know, not upset people's routine, but hopefully get them to buy into saying, this is a new thing, because, you know, you've been talking about how you really want to improve your 5K. What if once a week you come in and you focus a lot more on this side of things, on the cardiovascular side of things? Or, you know, you've been talking about how you want to really focus on your strength. Well, why don't you do a couple of your Orange 60s a week, and then let's mix in this other one that's just 50 minutes purely focused on weights.
Yeah. I feel like once they've tried it, they'll be fine with it. It's just, again, that change element. They're like, oh, but my regular 6 p.m. has now changed to a strength one, which I never used to do. I used to do my 61. So I think once they then try it, they're like, oh, actually, this is quite a good workout. And then it opens up options to them as well. But I think, at first, it's probably quite a difficult decision to make. So has that continued? Is it still, going strong?
And it's been great, to be honest. And yeah, it's been a lot of people who are like, nah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And ended up, they love it, and and then other people, maybe they don't even try it. They're like, I'm not going to go to that. Then they hear word of mouth. You should go. It's been good. I've been going. It's great. Or sometimes people will notice a change in somebody. It's like, what have you been doing differently? And it's like, well, you need to do this.
Yeah, you just need to persuade a few people, and then they can
That's
tell
it,
everyone how great it is.
Yeah.
So looking ahead, what do you think are the biggest opportunities for Orangetheory Fitness? And I guess also what's keeping you on your toes as well?
I think the biggest opportunity for us, especially in the UK, is like more brand awareness. And, in the States alone, I think there's over 1,000 studios. It's predominantly a US company. And it's in lots of countries around the world, and that's great. And that's where growth for the brand needs to be, really, as well as in America, it's globally. And, we need the name to get out there more, for people to understand what it is. A lot of people, they're like, Orange, is that like the phone company? What is that?
That's true, yeah.
People have maybe they have an idea of what it is, and it's like, no, that's not what we are, or they just got no clue. So we just really want to get the message out there, and for people to understand what separates us from other options they may have out there, and why it could be the right place for them.
I wonder why it is then that in America it's so big, and like why it is a struggle in the UK, because like you say, there is so many of them around. It's not like we're not educated enough to know what this like boutique facility is, but as a brand, obviously, that's obviously where you're trying to target more.
To get it,
I mean, I think partly, we don't want to blame it forever, but part of when it just kind of came over here was similar time to COVID happening, and maybe just the marketplace in the world in general is kind of different. But even then, they already had 10 years beforehand to build that. So, we need to.
Yeah, and I guess you guys are still fairly new in that way. Like 2019, was it? Did you say?
2019.
Yeah, so it is. Yeah, it's still quite fresh, I guess, when you think about it like that. Because I always think I'm relating it to 2010 and like how it's been quite a long process. But obviously, that's just in America, isn't it? When it was founded. So yeah, you still got time.
Yeah.
So to wrap up this episode, I like to ask my guests, what is one thing you've learnt in your personal or professional journey that has really resonated with you, and also might help someone listening to the podcast today?
Yeah.
Can argue about who's going to go first.
I think delegation for me.
Yeah.
Delegating, I think, is so powerful. And I think a lot of the time people might think that, I'm passing the book on, or I'm giving tasks away that...
You're being lazy.
Yeah, exactly that. But it's not. I think if you don't do it and, you are leading a team or whatnot, you're definitely going to burn out. You can't do it all by yourself. And I think for your staff and your team, they appreciate being given tasks and being given responsibilities. It shows that you trust them. And again, it helps with their development and them growing as well. So I was taught it when I first started managing by my manager. You can't just do it all, Craig. You've got to delegate some work. You're going to burn out.
Yeah.
And it's been a really useful thing for me throughout my journey.
Yeah, like, here you go.
That to anybody else.
This is an easy job now.
Exactly.
No, but I agree. Really important.
Yeah.
And it is hard to do, I think, when you are so motivated and want to do everything, and you've got an idea of what you want things to look like. It's hard to pass that responsibility on someone else.
It is,
because they might not see the same vision as you.
You think, I want it done this particular way or whatnot. So
you're set in your ways.
Yeah, but you've got to just trust, look, they can do it.
Yeah.
And they may tweak things, but does the job get done? And if it does, then great, we're winning.
Yeah, no, perfect. Yourself, Dan?
For me, probably just the importance of personal touches. When I joined Orangetheory, we had a couple that were great mentors to myself from the States, and one of them, the lady Emily, she's a phenomenal people person. Just remembers everybody's name, and she's opened up loads of studios all around the world and still knows their name and a little bit about them. to the point where you think
I don't know how
you can't
people do that. Honestly,
Yeah.
I've got the worst memory in the world. I don't know who I don't know half my colleagues.
My husband used to say it was a superpower.
And honestly,
yeah.
it was a superpower. And then, but when you, and then they kind of set a bit of an expectation. It's like, yeah, we want you to know everybody's name, everybody, yeah, and a little bit about them. And you think, what, yeah, yeah, and then, but you realize that you can do that, and and then everything gets so much better when you just personalize things a little bit. People have busy lives. You come in and sometimes just asking a little bit about, hey, how's their son or their daughter doing, or how did that exam go? That little thing you remembered,
They love it.
And it just makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
And that carries over when you're training people. You go down the line and there's this person training for their 5K, this person trying to get ready for their wedding, this person is just here for their mental health.
Yeah.
You just kind of know a little bit about everybody and how you just make little subtle tweaks.
Yeah. So important.
Yeah. So I think that it's just not overlooking the small details and personal touches.
No, 100%. Love that. Well, thanks, guys. That was great. And
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming so far away as well and committing to this episode. And I'm sure everyone will love it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Olivia.